We're trying to set up for a very special video, Ghosty.
Yeah, and I am too. I am part of this. I am a third of the channel. You listen to me. Jekyll boy.
Alright.
This one we'll have to re-record as a separate thing because
Okay.
I have to shoot Ash. It's not shoot Ash. Shoot Ghost even.
We've all considered it.
Hello!
Hi!
Welcome! We've got a very special video ahead of us. Hi, Ghost. Just like, give me the toy.
It's my toy.
Ghosty, give.
It's my toy.
Ghosty's like, no, I am not accepting that. Come on. There you go. Good boy.
Is this where we announce our OnlyFans?
No. The long-term fans may have noticed that the 14th of August is a very special date for us. Not our wedding anniversary. But it is the anniversary of this channel.
It certainly is.
We started this channel on the 14th of August 2022 with the husband tag.
We certainly did.
With a terrible background that I made up. Yeah, I thought that was okay. I thought that was alright.
The second I saw it, I was just like, Babby,
eyes!
I know, I was like, I admire the fact that you've put effort into this, but it's a tad much.
My eyes! Basically. That was what the situation was.
Speaking of backdrops, say hello to our second new backdrop.
Like our new setup?
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's supposed to look like glitter, but on certain cameras it may look like cornflakes or sawdust.
Yeah, the picture was really deceiving because it looked like sequins.
I thought it was actually going to come with sequins on it, not just a photo of sequins.
Yeah, it still looks good.
Yeah, still like it. Well, a little bit fancy because it is our first year anniversary video.
Yeah. Say hello to everyone,
Ghost was too. We're floating some kind of ideas around about what we want to do for our anniversary video.
No.
I personally wanted to do a commentary video of our first video, but I feel like the video's too short.
Yeah.
It's too short to do a commentary on it. I might do one in the future. If people ask for it, we might do a commentary video on our very first video, that husband tag. But it's up to you guys. If you want to know, let us know. If you want to let us know, put it in the comments down below.
Instead, we decided to come up with just a basic Q&A, really.
We haven't done a Q&A since the very first episode.
We've done a T&A.
You have. We haven't done a Q&A since the very first episode, so I thought rather than do a commentary on the very first episode, we'll just do it again. But this time, you've submitted the questions on our Discord, and if you haven't already done that, please do join our Discord. The link is down below. You can chat with us in between videos and streams, because we do stream on Twitch as well. It's here. It's over his face.
Someone's been very affectionate. He's been very clingy today.
Very affectionate.
He's hurt his paw slightly, unfortunately, so we're thinking it might have something to do with that.
That'll be what it is. He's hurt his paw. But yeah, so what we're going to do, we've asked our Discord community to ask us a couple of questions. And Ghost's going to answer some of them too, aren't you, Ghosty?
Hi, baby.
Aren't you, Ghosty boy? And yeah, and we're going to answer them to our best of our ability and see what madness you've brought along with us. So this one's come from Kami. Hello, Kami. And he says, what inspired you to be YouTube or Twitch content creators?
It wasn't that we were necessarily inspired. It was that we were invited to a group that we were previously in with a bunch of people. And it was a hobby that was kind of fun, you know.
I can definitely attest to that, yes. We were invited on it by members of that channel originally, who have now gone on to become NG Plus Live, who have become quite successful on this platform. We were invited to do I think the Twister video.
Spin, right hand yellow.
I'm holding you as hard as I can. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus, I can't. Oh, no, just stay still. Oh, fuck, no. Oh, my wrist. That means that I won.
My back still hasn't recovered.
Your back never recovered.
It's been 84 years.
And it was a Pocket Fighter video. Miss me.
If you'd done the hop move, you'd have got it.
Eat my witchy face.
Bad pussy.
Can eat my
pussy. But yeah, we did a couple of videos on that channel, and then we decided to go alone. To ask the original question of what inspired me, I've got quite a few inspirations for YouTube specifically. The very first one, probably Red vs Blue, or Rooster Teeth back in the day.
Yeah.
They were a big influence on me.
I think they're on Paramount Plus now. I keep seeing it advertised.
So Red vs Blue was a big one. I would also say that Tom Scott and Asdif Movie and his vlogging channel was a very big influence for me as well. I used to watch Last Week and Last Month religiously when they came out. They're still out at the moment. I think he brought back Last Month recently. But I do like watching Tom Scott and Friends. At the moment, though, we are binge watching and religiously watching together a drag queen duo on YouTube. It isn't Trixie and Katya.
For me, it is.
That's a big influence for you. It is Novimpia.
I can move over now.
Hi. Welcome back. They're a Bournemouth-based drag duo. What did they do? Like vlogs and like...
Yeah, vlogs, toys, drinking, just general shit, but then
game show parodies,
but then like in drag and stuff.
Very, very similar to what you've already seen on this channel, but like we're basically pale imitations of them.
Yeah, and we can't do drag. We're not that talented.
That could be an interesting video idea, though.
Listen, we seen you as Sarah for Halloween. All right, you were not the most pretty lady.
I was very pretty as Sarah, Sarah Sanderson from Hocus Pocus. I'll have you know.
If we can
pictures
find
up here,
yeah, if we can find a picture, we'll put it up.
Pictures up here.
Stop putting shit over my face. You keep doing it.
Never. But yeah, so Novimpia is a big influence on us as well. I just love watching their content. It'll give me an excuse to use this clip as well.
Yours looks terrible. Fuck off.
Which I fucking love that clip. The first time I saw that clip, I fucking howled. So yeah, they're a big influence on us as well.
So like whenever one of us like makes a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or anything, go, yours is terrible. Fuck off. My favourite one as well is it? It's Lisa Kudrow, and I'm not sure what movie that it's from. It's just like whenever, like, you know, it's like, oh, that joke was really funny. Is it?
I'll say also to my friends as well. So NG Plus is a big influence for us as well. This channel wouldn't exist without them. Also, they're not on the channel yet, but we can definitely get them on a video at some point in the future. But Tom and Hayley have been a massive influence on us as well. They're our close friends. Tom's come over from the other channel, and Hayley is his wife, and they've like literally I wouldn't be here without them. I'm just gonna put it out there now. Like I wouldn't be here without them.
And he's not just talking about the video; he's talking about life.
Life in general, yeah. I am fully indebted to Tom and Hayley. I also say like some of our long-term fans as well. So I'd say like Judith, EP, Zach, Carmi. I'd say that they're all massive influences on me as well. But we feed off each other. So like I said, I'm so thankful for everybody that's like in our like circle or our community, that sort of thing. I know it sounds a bit up my own arse to say it, but
do you remember when I said insert rant here at the beginning of this?
An outbursting of love for everyone. So yeah, they're massive influences for us. Have you got anything else to add?
I'd like to thank Pizza for
Pizza's
all that it is.
Yeah. Pizza's good.
I would like to thank the Grove Farm Carvery.
Grove Farm Carvery, yeah.
They've been a very big influence.
Whilst we're shouting them out, might as well shout out Gemini as well. They are amazing.
My biggest influence is food.
Yeah, I'm also food motivated too, yeah. You want to ask the next question?
Not particularly, but I will.
Fuck you then, I'm gone.
Favourite video on LWAG so far and why?
And who asked that question?
Bitch, I can't fucking see!
Evolved penis.
Oh, okay. Alright. So, that's a difficult question for me, because like all my videos are like my children. I know it sounds fucking cliche to say it, but they are. I like every individual video I've ever made on this channel.
So for everyone that knows us, I'm not tech savvy in the slightest, and I would love to be able to sit there and edit and stuff like that, but I don't have the first idea when it comes to computers. So I do feel guilty a lot of the time because all of the editing literally falls on you. I'm happy to learn it, but it just looks very complicated, and I don't think I'll get it.
We'll find time where I can teach you how to edit. Like I said, you've got days off work now.
Just because, it would free you up a bit. Unfortunately, with our schedules and stuff at the moment, and with Finn being the only editor, it means that our videos are very few and far between, unfortunately.
I've been trying to I know it's obviously we've got a couple of months missed out here and there. I'm trying to get a video out every month.
Yeah.
That's going to be like a nice kind of routine for me.
You have a lot of like little side projects, and like we've sort of said, you've got to start being a little bit more selective.
I don't realise I'm doing it until I end up stressing about it later on, but I spread myself out too thin. When you're like,
babe, I've got 4 podcasts to do and 3 videos, and I'm like...
At one point, I'll say in July, I had 2 podcasts, I had 3 videos to edit, I had another couple of videos that I needed to record. I put so much stuff on myself, I'm very stressy.
So I've sort of said, like, it's great that you want to be involved in all these things, but you've got to start being a bit more selective.
Yeah. I'll just take things at my own pace, basically.
Yeah.
But to answer the original question that EP posed, my favourite LWAG video, let's go on my phone and just figure out.
Well, we've got the husband tag, we've got...
Meet Ghost.
Yeah, we've got $1 million question.
$1 million password, even.
Password, sorry. We've got... obviously the unboxing video that we just did.
Christmas adverts. Forza.
I think my two favourites... So I liked the Christmas one especially because obviously it's my favourite time of year.
That was the first video, which was totally your idea as well.
Yeah, and that one was my baby, to which I'm like, so every year now, I'm going to have a little Christmas project, like something that's mine.
Christmas is now owned by Ashley, TM.
Yes. Also, we did it with Nathan and Gina. It was nice to reminisce. And
I enjoy every video we've ever done with Nathan and Gina because they're such a breeze to like goof around with.
Yeah, they're
and
easy.
Shoot videos with. Like we did it with them for like 5 years before this, but like I said, every video that I do with Nathan and Gina is just a blast. I love it.
And also, if we have an idea, they're usually, as long as they're free, they're always.
They're always like, I know I'm going to get off their back eventually, but
yeah, you need to pull the tongue out of the apple.
Every video idea we have, and we always. Like, if we've got a video idea that we want to run past and we're a bit unsure about, we're always like, yeah, sure, do it. Or they always give us like really good advice, and I'm always like rather thankful for them.
And then I really like the husband tag just because I watched it again recently, and it was just the segment again. Speaking of the holidays, of when I was talking about our first Christmas together, like. And
because we met in November, it's always one Christmas more than we've been together, so it always throws me because it's technically our 10th Christmas this year, but we've been together for 9 years.
Yeah, it was just reminding me of the story of like when I'd had the surgery and how relieved I was because I was suffering with my ankle for months, and how really special and much effort you put into that first one. So I watched it recently and it really did, and honestly I said it in the video and I say it now, that one magical night that me and you spent together on that really nice holiday is probably one of the most cherished memories that I have.
I'm kind of the best.
I wouldn't go that far, like, let's take you down a peg.
It was like proper like husband goals there. I mean that was before we got married, so that would probably have been proper boyfriend goals at that point.
Yes it was.
But my favourite video on LWAG, to get back to the original point, I would probably say, because the videos mean different things for me, I would say for the amount of nostalgia and sentimentality, I'd probably say the Forza video is my favourite. Because that video, it took about a year to make. After I left the previous channel, I didn't want to do a Forza video. I wanted to leave it there. But it's always in the back of my mind. It's like, I really enjoyed that series and I want to continue it. So I continued it, and I'm so proud of myself for doing it because once I push past that barrier, I'm going to record the next one in a couple of weeks' time. I'm going to keep going on with it because I really enjoyed that video. But what I would say is also my favourite is the Eurovision video. I wasn't expecting anything from that video at all.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting anything from the Eurovision video. But at the time of recording, that Eurovision video is our most viewed video so far.
We'll do that every year as well.
Yeah, we're bringing that back next year. That's definitely coming back.
I already booked off the week for it.
Good.
We'll do both semis and we'll do the finale.
I enjoyed Eurovision last year because the actual event itself, we had a load of friends over.
Yeah.
And we went over to Gina's house. Sorry, I mentioned your name again.
Get lost.
We went over to Gina's house. We had a big Eurovision party, and it was such a lovely time, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Right, let's move on because we've got a lot of questions. Let's keep it moving.
What's been your favourite streaming moment so far? Says Gina.
My favourite streaming moment. Ooh. Oh, that's a toughie. Nothing's really standing out to me stream-wise. Yeah.
I would probably say, I mean, technically it's a cheat because it's not on our channel, but when we did the Worms collab stream on NG Pussy's channel.
Uh-oh.
No.
I jumped!
Ashley's out.
See ya.
That was karma, you bastard.
It was.
I think that was more embarrassing than yours.
God damn it.
Can you imagine if Judith was here?
She'd be so angry with you.
If we clip this, we can show her.
That was a highlight because we had so much fun. And the amount of like senseless murder that me and Gina did, it was literally go down in the annals. I enjoyed the Worm stream. That was really, really fun. On my own channel, though, I'm enjoying... At the moment, I'm doing Tales of Vesperia. I've never played a Tales of game in my life, but I'm really enjoying that right now. I didn't think I would. but I'm really enjoying it right now. It's giving me a lot of Final Fantasy IX vibes, which I also haven't completed. But I'm really enjoying that game so far. So that's probably going to be a couple of my favourite streams, the ones where I'm like, I'm pleasantly surprised by a video game. So that's one of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing like really standing out to me in regards to like.
I know what it is.
What?
Dirty Jai.
When your dad fucks your mum's dad at the same time your dad's dad fucks your dad's mum, mum's dad, while the dad fucks you, and your stepsister films. What the fuck?
I've got to try and work that out.
Oh shit! I completely forgot about that. Yeah, Dirty Jai.
I leave for one stream.
You put me and Nathan together. You knew.
You put you and Nathan together. I had no part in that. But yeah, that's
Hilarious.
probably your favourite, isn't it?
No, I can't believe I completely. That's the thing that when you do so many, your mind goes.
Your mind goes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you miss all the good bits, even though people can clip them.
Yeah. Shall we move on to the next one? So, if you could have any special guest, who would it be and why? And that was submitted from Andy Pandy with the best knockers. Okay.
I love Andy. Andy's so fun. Like Andy's my script writing buddy. I did script writing in university, and I know nobody else that did it. Until very recently, Gina introduced me to Andy and was like, "Oh, by the way, she does script writing." I'm like, "Oh my god, we're best buds for life." So yeah, I appreciate her very much. The special guests, what would it be and why? I think she means like on a video or like a podcast or something like that. Who would you like?
Anthony Birch, just because I'm fairly certain I could convince him of a three-way.
That's not how the sentences I thought was going to go. That's definitely not how I thought it was going to go.
Stop. By the by, we're going to insert a picture of this. One of the reasons why I kind of fell for him, because he looked very similar.
What, to me?
Yeah, you'll see why I'm like, yeah, I can work with this.
I'm flattered. I am. I also, a little known fact as well, you invited him to our wedding.
I certainly did. He responded. And he wished me happy birthday. He's an all-around nice chappy, but yeah, just because I'm fairly certain I could convince him of a three-way.
That's cool, I guess. But yeah, it's a special guest. You say Anthony Birch. Anybody else on that? You want to elaborate on anyone else?
Maybe like Navimpia, just because they're fabulous.
I was also going to say Navimpia as well. That would be cool. Although I feel like we'd be vastly outmatched.
Yeah.
Navimpia would like sink us in the water.
Yeah.
They're so much funnier than we are.
Yeah. Or Markiplier, because I'd like to ride his face like a carousel.
This is a special guest on a video, not a special guest you want to fuck. That's a separate video for a separate time.
You say potato, I say vodka.
So for me, a special guest, probably say... I'm going to say Tomska would be another guest that I'd quite like to have on. But again, we're punching way above our weight here. This is a really unsatisfying answer because I can't think of anybody else at the moment. And it's going to kick me because I'm going to be editing this later on going, oh my god, I forgot about... And then we'll insert it. Fine. So it's like, we'll just go like, here's a list of celebrities Finn would like on to be a guest star, and it's just running along on the screen. Oh, I thought of another person as well. Probably one of the Smoshcast as well. Any person in the Smoshcast, I don't care. I'm not picky.
God, I would love to be in the sandwich of Anthony and the other one, Ian.
The other one, I'm sure I could be thrilled with that. Yeah, so any of the Smosh crew, because little sidebar, I had COVID a couple of years ago, and I hadn't watched Smosh content for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I binge watched a lot of their content whilst I was feeling icky from COVID, so...
I fell out with the whole Smosh thing when obviously Anthony left, and then obviously very recently they announced that they've rebought it, and very much looking forward to see what they do in the future. So
I'd say that Smosh is a special place in my heart as well, because of how I felt when I was watching their content again. Okay, so the next question is from somebody called Kami. Don't know who he is. Who asks, what's the most difficult thing about live streaming and editing?
Well, the live streaming I can talk about. I can't talk about the editing. So I've recently started nights and my body clock is just not with it. And even like today, for example, so I got up, I woke up at like 2 a.m, come downstairs, did a load of housework. I went back to bed about 7, stayed in bed till about 9, got up, took the dog for a walk. I went downstairs after I'd done everything. About 11 o'clock, I put myself on the sofa. I could feel myself going, so I decided to take a nap. Then the next thing I know, my phone's ringing, and it's him saying I'm coming home from work, and it was 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So
you completely napped out the entire day.
So my body clock at the minute is awake all night and sleep all day. And on my days off, I'm not readjusting. My body clock is staying on that cycle. So at the minute, live streaming it's finding it hard to have the will to do it, just because I don't want to be on a stream and be like that.
And we've done streams before where you're visibly tired and it just completely saps out all the energy in the room.
Because I want to sleep.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, I get it, but we've done streams before where it's like, this is flatlining because you've got no energy whatsoever.
Yeah.
So from my side of the coin, I can basically ask for both of those questions. What my most difficult thing about live streaming and editing is. The most difficult thing about editing, writing scripts. It's time consuming because it's like, takes it back to like uni days and stuff like that, like, or schoolwork, where it was like you had to make like a big essay. You'd write the introduction, you leave it alone for a week, and then you come back to it. So the script writing is kind of a bit like that when it comes to for videos. For a scripted video like Forza, the scripts was probably the longest process because you have to go through research about the car, introduce what you're doing. Then when I'm doing the upgrades and decals, I have to write what I'm doing in that, and that's a long process as well. I have to rewatch the footage multiple times to do it. So I'd say the script writing in the editing process is a bit I don't like that much. For live streaming, I would probably say setting it up.
Yeah.
Like the technology's bit, fine, can deal with that. But like the lights, the green screen, making sure that everything's in camera, hate that. Absolutely hate that. But once I'm actually on them live, I'm like, great, this is amazing. So yeah, I would say setting up live streams and script writing is the editing process. That's the most difficult thing.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next one.
So these questions are all about personal base. They're about us and Ghost.
From Spectrum Z, Zach,
Never
when
heard of
did
it.
you realise that you both had found the one? You first?
I would say 3 weeks in.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if I mentioned this in the first video, but I was still in the closet when I met him, so I actually came out for him. I say it like that. It sounds like he forced me. He didn't force me at all. I did it myself.
And now he sits here and says, biggest mistake I ever made.
So I think the main thing was I had like gone out on dates with people who were already out of the closet, and when I bring up that. I brought up that aspect of my life at that point. They were very quick to be like, "Oh, you need to hurry up and do it. You need to do it." I was
Can't
like,
stand that.
at that point, I was very, very scared because these were my first relationships. Like I was coming in completely fresh, didn't know what I was doing, and they were kind of forcing me to kind of like do this big thing, which was like kind of coming out of the closet. Whereas when I was with Ash, he was very much like, I get where you are at the moment.
Take the time. I've been there.
Take all the time you want.
Need, yeah.
Take all the time you need.
Granted,
I'm not going to force you to come out. You do it because you want to do it, not because I want to do it.
If we were then talking like a year down the line, I might have gone, okay,
Yeah.
that's different.
Well, at that point, when I met you, the only person that knew that I was gay was my sister. I was the only person that knew. Hadn't told my parents, hadn't told my friends. Literally, my sister was the only person. Hi, Sarah. That was probably the reason why I realised that you were the one, because you valued me for me rather than what I need to be to get to a certain point. It was like you cared about what I was at that moment, not who I'd be in the future. That was really kind of eye-opening for me. That's when I knew you were the one.
For me, I don't really recall like when I knew you were the one, but I just knew that you were nice and you were genuine, and I'd been out with so many dickheads, and I got sick of people are so complicated for different reasons, and I was getting really fucking tired of just problems all the time, like jealousy and insecurity, and I ain't got time for that nonsense, and I haven't got the patience.
You're very
for it
non-confrontational. You're very much like, you got a problem with me? That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll start this like normal human beings. We'll throw things around. We'll have a massive argument. We'll just get to the end of it.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating because when I actually have a point against you, it's like I literally it's so frustrating. But I get it. Like,
What, just because I don't rise?
yeah, because then again, I respect that because it's like you're not going to get anywhere if you're just shouting at each other.
No. Not only that, like when you've got thoughts and feelings, like for yourself, for example, like you clam up.
Yeah.
And I'm a communicator. And I'm just like, if you don't tell me what's wrong, I can't make it better.
That's kind of why we work together, because we're kind of very opposites. Kind of like I'm like the emotional one.
Yeah.
You're the closed off one. But when it comes to like confrontation, like you're very much like, we need to solve this now. Because I'm like, I need to collect my thoughts, make a report, then come back to you.
Yeah, but
and then analyse.
But for me, that's you then sitting there and stewing on it. And I'm like, that doesn't make it better.
That's just how my mind works sometimes.
I don't remember like when I thought you were the one. I just remember that there was no difficulty, there was no aggro, there was no problems, and you were genuine and you were nice, and that was
Easygoing. Easy on the eye.
And that was refreshing.
Easy.
Easy, definitely.
I knew that you knew that I was the one a year into our relationship because you took me out to a nice fancy buffet meal at a restaurant that no longer exists. You invited all of my friends and family and all of your friends and family, or as many as you could, because you've got quite a lot. This lovely buffet meal. No idea that anything was going to happen, otherwise it was just going to be like it's your first anniversary kind of thing.
Yeah.
I did know as soon as 15 mobile phones got shoved in my face and you started to propose. That's when I knew that you wanted to lock me in.
Funny story about that. So that was before I'd got my ankle surgery. So I was on crutches at this point.
You were on crutches.
And I kept standing up to go down on one knee, and he kept walking off to the dessert bar.
I was hungry. I wanted to fill my face.
So there was me, like, propping myself up, scooting down, and in the end, I got his sister and went, will you control your brother because he's doing my fucking tree in?
I think you did it at 3 different times. The first time I went up for the dessert bar. The second time I went up to the dessert bar. Third time I went to the toilet.
Yeah.
And then my sister was like going, you have to stay at the table. Actually say.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then the phones came out.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew.
I got down on one knee on crutches, and then he had to help me
well
up.
Well done. Here's your medal. There you go. Okay, so the next question was originally asked by Kami, but you misread it.
I certainly did.
So originally the question was, what's your first gaming experience? Of which Ash misread it as,
tell us about your first gay experience.
And I was trying to like divert away, and she was like, it's a perfect question, I'm going to ask it. Because she is devil's advocate.
I was a slut when I was younger. I genuinely don't remember.
We know. Is there anything you want to divulge about your first gay experience?
But again, we were talking fucking so long ago. Again, I don't really remember, to be honest.
That's classy.
Yeah, well...
Very classy.
We're talking like 20 years ago.
Oh my god, I'm old! I'll tell you about my first gay experience, though.
Yeah.
I can do that, because I remember, because, I'm a classy bird. So I came out when I was 23. So before Ashley, there were 2 other guys. So the first guy was a bit older than me. So I was 23, he was 30. I met him online, and we went out together for like 2 months maybe, and then he ghosted me, because he's a dick. But yeah, after he ghosted me, I was like, you know what, fuck it, you're out of my life, I don't care about you anymore. That was my first gay experience. And then obviously the second person, just like a blind date.
You're a yachtsman, are you not?
Yeah, I'm a very keen sailor.
Well, who's your first special mate? Have you any ideas?
Well, I think it'd have to be Demi Moore.
Oh, great taste.
Nah, that didn't go anywhere, so that was fine. For everyone who thought that Ash was my first, he was my first in that way, but he wasn't my first relationship.
I don't know. I just remember being in college and being bisexual was really in. So I just remembering tonguing loads of guys who were straight and were just saying they were bi to be popular.
I also seem to remember a time in high school where, regardless of sex, it was kind of cool to be bi.
Yeah.
Which obviously is very, very damaging to people who actually genuinely are bisexual. But it was kind of like an in thing to be bi.
But I think that's probably what it was. It was just like tonguing loads of guys who were straight but were just trying to fit in. But
you were catching feelings from it.
I wanted to shag them, but I didn't do like the whole amour thing for the first few. Like, because obviously when you're younger, being gay, unless you're in a very liberal place where it's very accepted, like especially during like high school and college, dating pretty much doesn't exist for you unless you're lucky enough to find the other gay kid, and even then you've got to be attracted to him. Like, I really fucking hate that stereotype. Like, oh, I've got this friend called and he's gay, you should hook you up. I'm like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, there has to be some kind of attraction there as well. It can't just be because he's the only gay in school.
I think for a lot of gays, when we do finally like find our community, it's kind of making up for lost time, which is really bad. But
I'll definitely say that a lot of kind of my horniness, shall we say, is kind of pent up from that period of my life where I didn't have anybody. So that's kind of like built up and overspilling now. So yeah, my first gay experience was with a 30-year-old nurse who ghosted me after 2 months.
Nice. If they made a movie, TV series of your lives, who would you want to play you, and who do you think would actually play you?
That's from Gina.
Yeah.
I already know.
Okay, go ahead.
So if they made a movie, TV series of my life, well, they already made a TV series of my life. It was The In-Betweeners. Yes, I carried a briefcase around school.
Oh my god, you were a
Simon. I wore the school uniform.
You're a Simon.
I was Simon Bird. Oh, God. So if anyone was going to make a biopic about my life, I would like Simon Bird to be the person that plays me. Who do I think would actually play me? I have no idea. But I'm just going with Simon Bird.
Who would play me? Who's chaotic like I am? Maybe Jodie Foster's character from the movie Contact. Listen,
I mean a serious answer.
I am deadly serious. There is something intrinsically inherent about
You look nothing like Jodie Foster.
I know, but there's something intrinsically inherent about finding a film about receiving a message from your dead dad on a beach, which is like from a third dimension, and it turns out to be a thing from Hitler. I am all about the movie Contact, and it's not a particularly good movie.
Oh no, it sounds like actual pinnacle of cinema.
But yeah, no, for the longest time, like every Friday night and Saturday morning, I would send a Twitter to Peaches for Christ saying, when are you going to make the movie Contact into a stage play and can I play all the characters?
So I notice how we've gone there. Like I've gone like very like kind of baseline, and Ash is like shoot for the stars. So yeah, so Simon Bird, Jodie Foster, apparently. If ghosts could talk human, what do you think he would like? What do you think he would sound like, and what do you think he would say? That's coming from Gina and Zach.
I think his language would be very basic, to like one words.
He's very kind of like either I want to play with it, I want to eat it,
Yeah.
or I want to walk.
Play, sleep, walk, or pets.
Yeah.
What do I think he would sound like? I'd like to think that he would sound like a blend of Sylvester Stallone and Jackie Collins.
I would probably say he'd sound a lot like upper class, like gentleman of the manor kind of voice.
Oh God, you think he'd be like a Mr. Darcy?
No, not Mr. Darcy, God no. Love you, Ghost.
Yes.
That's why he's sitting over there with you. Duncan asks, you know the puppy when?
It's not possible. Ghost is unfortunately very animal defensive.
He loves humans and he loves kids.
Yeah.
But any other animal, he's like, no, go away.
Yeah.
Which is strange because he was brought up with another animal.
Yeah.
And I mentioned him in the Meet Ghost video.
We don't know if in between the transit he's had an experience or something.
It could be an
like
anxiety
that.
thing because, like I said, he was gone from a multi-pet home to a single pet home, and now he's a
Yeah.
bit like territorial of like, this is my house now. These are my
Yeah.
owners. I don't want to share it with anyone else.
Sadly, when the time comes when he's no longer with us, we will probably take a break from a pet for a few
I would like to get
years.
another one, but again,
Yeah.
there would be a break period between that.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's way off in the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ghost is only 6.
They are a massive life commitment, and you know, you do have to base your life around them. Like a good example, we went out a couple of weeks ago, and one of us, it gets to a point where one of us has to go because we have to let the dog out. Side note, for people considering animals, they are a lifelong commitment.
Yeah,
You know, and you do have to base your life around them.
they're not just for
And if-
Christmas.
no,
They're
and
not a fashion accessory.
and-
They actually are living, breathing humans. Creatures, even.
and I fully think that if you don't treat your animal like it is a member of your family, you should not have them.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I agree with that.
So yeah, so unfortunately Dunk is old for now, and then like I said, when the time comes where he's no longer with us,
I would love Ghost to have dog friends,
Yeah.
but he's just too like, go away.
Yeah, he's happy with us.
He's
so-
happy with you and me. We're going into the video game section now.
Yes.
This is the question that got misheard by Ashley hilariously, and we had to ask what our first gay experience was. What was the original question?
What was your first gaming experience?
That was from Zach.
So I don't remember it, but my mum tells it me all the time. So my mum bought me the Sega Game Gear.
Put a picture of it up here somewhere.
Yeah. Apparently, I completed Sonic the Hedgehog when I was like 4 years old.
I've not even completed the first level of Sonic the Hedgehog. That's how...
Again, I don't recall it,
Oh, no.
but I was very fortunate, you know. I got the consoles, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, you know. I was very fortunate that I always did get the thing that I asked for.
Oh, privileged child of yours. I got fuck all.
You get nothing.
Yeah, well, that's the joy of being from a divorced family. They compete.
My first gaming experience was in primary school. My first best friend, Sam, he had a Nintendo 64. So my first gaming experience was being terrible at the multiplayer of GoldenEye,
Yeah.
which I know is a classic game.
My
I remember vividly playing... I think we played a level where we were both playing different versions of Bond.
Yeah.
And at one point he came around a corner with a railgun and snapped me in half. That's how terrible I was. And I always ended up being Natalia as well. And Natalia is shit. But yeah, so my first gaming memories were of GoldenEye.
He's a good boy.
Honestly, what's your first gaming memory? The first game I ever owned was I had the PS2. That was the first game console that I owned. It was mine.
Yeah.
Wasn't a hand-me-down. Wasn't like borrowed from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the first game I had on the PS2 was Shadow the Hedgehog,
Yeah.
Simpsons Hit and Run, which I played the hell out of, and Buzz the Music Quiz, which I also played the hell out of, and no one wanted to play with me because I got too good at the questions. But they were my three that I played as well.
I think my favourite memory is my mum. So I had a friend when my parents divorced. I used to spend the weekend with my mum, and there was a friend who lived across the street from me called Aaron, and him and his mum and my mum were friends already. And we were both the same age, so it was really good. I remember one Christmas, like his mum bought him Pokemon Red, and my mum bought me Pokemon Blue, so that we could.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Can you trade Pokemons between those?
Yeah. So they bought a cable for us to share so that we could.
That's really cute.
Yeah, so
I like that story.
That's one of my favourites.
I've got favourite memories of if you listen to the Small Button podcast that I do with my friend Hannah. I did mention this on the podcast, but I also have fond memories of V-Rally, playing that with my family. It's the only game I've ever played with my dad, I think. Dad's not really that into like video games because he's of the older generation. He's not really into video games, but he played V-Rally with me and my sister once. And I remember we were playing a stage set in like South Africa, and at one point he'd flipped his car upside down, and then my sister used his upside down carcass as a ramp to jump ahead of me in the race. I remember that very vividly, and it being hilarious.
So
how old were we back then, says Carmi? I mean, we've already answered that question already, but I was in primary school, so I would have been like in single figures.
Yeah.
I would have been 6 or 7,
so
maybe?
like I said, my original one was I was about 4. And then, like I said, I was very fortunate that like when consoles came out and the Game Boys and stuff like that, like my parents were pretty good and got them me. What is your favourite retro console and why, says Jai?
I would say the PS2, for the same reasons as I mentioned beforehand. It was the first console that I owned that was mine. I have fond memories of playing a lot of Need for Speed games on there.
Yeah.
A lot of the GTAs on there. The 3D collections.
I think people don't appreciate how innovative the PS2 was. And of the consoles, it had the longest...
For a long period of time, I think it's been overtaken now. It was the biggest selling console of all time.
It was around ages as well, wasn't it? Before the 3 came out. My favourite would have to be the PS2 as well, simply because I have so many fond memories of going to Nathan's house when we were younger and just playing the shit out of whatever year the wrestling game was. All of them. So...
I also fondly remember, I know it's a game that everybody hates because it's very, very shovelware.
Gay?
No, not gay. Okay. Very, very shovelware, which was Simpsons Wrestling. I remember playing that on PS1.
Oh god, it's like rated one of the worst games. There was nothing wrestling about it.
Yeah, but when you're a kid, you're dumb.
And Ned Flanders, he was so OP. He could heal himself.
Yeah.
And he could spam it.
Yeah. When I was a kid as well, I liked playing as Barney because you could just spam the burping, and I thought that was hilarious when I was a kid.
And you call me childish?
Have I ever called you childish?
Just because I enjoy a good fart.
Everyone enjoys a good fart. It's not necessarily in their face. And they're in bed with you.
You come for a cuddle earlier and you just hear me go, and then I just slowly pull the cover over.
He did.
Jai also asks, what is your favourite video game franchise as a whole?
I would say...
I personally believe...
It's going to be... Because if you asked me this question a couple of years ago, I would have said Need for Speed, but they've released a couple of duds recently. So I'm going to say Forza Horizon.
Okay.
My favourite franchise.
Okay. So for me, it's either the Final Fantasy series, the Tales of series, or the Star Ocean series, depending on what mood I'm feeling.
Now, I've heard a lot of Star Ocean from you and Nathan, and I've not seen any gameplay of it so far. I know it's a very rare game.
It's good.
But
it's very good.
I've heard nothing but praise from that game, and I've not actually seen a single frame of footage of it.
When you finish Vesperia, Nathan, you need to let him borrow a rise, because I think he'll love the shit out of that
I'm enjoying Vesperia at the moment.
I got to the final boss, though, and just couldn't do it. It was fucking impossible.
Maybe you need to grind a bit more. Maybe you need to get good.
It's literally, you fight every boss from the game back to back with no interlude.
That sounds like Guitar Hero, like final song level of shit.
I got to like the final boss of the final form, and it fucking decimated me. And I just got to the point where it's like, this boss battle took me 3 hours. I am not doing this again.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The next question we have is, what game do you love but everybody hates? And also, on the way around, what game do you hate but everybody loves? That's from Carmi.
Okay. My favourite would be a fighting game from the PS1 called Destrager. I mean, it was garbage, but it was also really fun. Or at least I thought it was really fun. It was a 3D fighting platformer where you could either fight up close or with magic, and it was just a good time. And unfortunately, I played it that much that my copy of it burnt out and I could never find another one. Even Zach, bless him, bought me a version for a birthday, and it didn't work.
It was
didn't work.
scratched, so we couldn't use it, unfortunately.
I know. And I know there's emulators, and I'd love to try and find an emulator. If anyone knows of one, please let me know.
Down in the comments.
Because I'd love to play the shit out of that game again.
I can think of a game that I hate that everyone loves.
Okay.
Fortnite. I can't stand Fortnite. I played Fortnite for the first 2 seasons of it, and then it became too kind of like, what's the in popular culture thing? Let's make a soldier out of it. It's like, this is becoming the game rather than its own individual entity now.
I feel the exact same way about Fall Guys. I can't stand it.
I like Fall Guys.
I can't understand why it's so popular.
Fall Guys is better than Fortnite, definitely.
Yeah.
But Fortnite has become...
Oh, it's toxic.
The player base is toxic, but that's less important to me. The actual gameplay itself is not its own individual identity.
Not only that,
it's very kind of commercial, very kind of in pop culture kind of thing. It doesn't have a personality, basically. It's very bland.
Yeah, for me as well. Like, I tried to play Fortnite, and like, you miss a season, and then like they add a new mechanic, and the people who play Fortnite, they play it so religiously that you start a game and you just get wiped out instantly. And I know people might say get good, but
what I would also say as well, I wouldn't have said this a couple of years ago, but recently, a game that I used to like but everyone hates now, Overwatch. I used to play a lot of Overwatch 1. Never played Overwatch 2.
I know, 2.
I'm glad that I didn't, because Overwatch 2 has become such a fucking clusterfuck.
Decimated, didn't it? It could have just been a DLC. Just added new characters.
It feels like a DLC. That's what people are saying. It's like, because you've taken away so many things that were promised to make it different from 1. It's now a DLC.
Yeah.
You're selling as a separate game. But yeah, I'd say Overwatch is the game that I used to like but everyone hates.
Yeah.
Question for Ash. What was your experience with Final Fantasy 13? That's from Jai.
My first playthrough was that I was like, okay, this has gone in a very different direction. Not necessarily bad. I did hate the fact that you had a party of 3, and if your party leader died, you lost. So your teammates could still be alive, but it would be an instant game over. And I'm like, well, what's the point of having teammates if I can't revive? That was really crappy. It was very linear until the very end of the game. And being linear is not a bad thing, but it was just a game of constant corridors. The grinding was ridiculous. The hours you would have to put in to fill up your XP. And Final Fantasies are all about that, but 13 took it to a whole nother level. And then 13-2, I played it, I completed it. They brought time travel and paradoxes in, which, if you weren't paying attention to the lore, made it all the more confusing. And then I bought Final Fantasy 13-3. I played it for 20 minutes. I was like, this is wank. And then I took it back. I asked for a refund. I was like, done. Yes. So 13 is by no means my favourite. I liked Vanille and Fang. I liked those characters, but the rest of them, Hope was a whiny bitch. Lightning was just teen angst. Snow thought he was the hero and he really wasn't. Oh, no. Sarah needs to get a life. Saz was all about his son, and like, yeah, okay, that's kind of noble, but yeah. So if people were saying to me, would I recommend them play 13, I would say no.
No.
Boy, I'm nearly done, Bubba.
You good boy.
Let's move on. So, question for Finn. What is the next Final Fantasy game after 9 if you want to play? I recommend 6.
On the Twitch channel, I started Final Fantasy 9, because I've not actually finished a Final Fantasy game ever. I'm still at the beginning of 9 at the moment. But after 9, I think I might want to try one of the more modern Final Fantasies. And I'll probably go for like 15 16.
Those
I would
are
actually
yours.
quite like to try 15 actually, because I've seen you play 15. I know you don't like it, but I've seen you play 15, and I'd quite like to play that next. I think.
Well, fair enough. By the way, Final Fantasy fans are in absolute fucking uproar because there's things going around now saying that 16 could be the last numbered instalment.
Could it be the finalist of Final Fantasies?
It could be the final of Final Fantasies. I mean, obviously they're going to finish the Final Fantasy VII remake project,
of course,
but after that, they genuinely don't know what direction they're going to go in. I think they might take a breather and they might just remake older games.
The original ones, yeah. Final Fantasies 1 to 6.
It's possible, you know.
But yeah, so to answer your question, one of the more modern Final Fantasies after 9, so probably 15 or 16 will be my next ones. So now we're going to the miscellaneous questions. We've got only a couple left.
Oh, thank God.
Jai also asks, what's your favourite comedy?
Oh God, there's so many to choose from. I'm just going to say UK TV Gold. That's my favourite comedy.
Anything on there, because you're an elderly person.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Now, I know times have changed and people are offended, but everything there is a product of its time, and you have to appreciate that what it was for what it was. You know, I like Are You Being Served, which had constant jibes against gay people, which I'm gay myself, but I still find it hilarious. You know, what are other ones that are like problematic? Oh, like The Royal Family, because they're about a family living on benefits.
I wouldn't say they're problematic though, and that's more of its time as well, because that was more. There wasn't that many comedies that focused on working class families.
Yeah.
Or families that didn't work as well.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's lots of things out there, and it really bothers me because I always get, like, when I'm on UK TV Gold on demand now, even though if I've seen it a million times, there'll be a thing up first saying like, oh, this thing is a subject of its time and may have language and discrimination that we wouldn't recommend it. And I'm like, I know this. I have watched this. I'm fine with it.
There is somebody that watches it that might get triggered by it.
Yeah, I guess.
So they have to put it up there.
Yeah,
I hate it too, but...
So yeah, so no, for me, I could watch UK TV Gold all day, every day. Even if I've seen it a million times, I don't care. If it's on there, I'm going to watch it.
So my favourite comedy, I think, in terms of like longevity, like after it's come out and finished, I rewatch it, I go back to it, and it's kind of like a nice warm hug for me, would be Scrubs.
Yeah.
You may have noticed a couple of clips in it in the previous video. But I loved Scrubs. And my best friend at the time, during my teens, watched it before I did. And I was like, oh, you should definitely watch Scrubs. And I was like, oh, I don't want to watch it because everyone's watching it at the moment. I don't want to be like part of the in crowd. I want to wait till it's finished. And then eventually, I think I watched like season 4. I was like started off right in the middle because that's how I like to roll. I love season 4. Season 4 was great. And then I went back and watched the rest of the seasons up until that point. And I've got the entire series on DVD. I even listen to the podcast as well. So Scrubs is my answer. Scrubs is my favourite comedy. We've got a question from Carmi. What's your favourite drink and food?
Ass and wine.
Love you.
Oh no.
I would probably say my favourite food is
Maryland chicken.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it gives you diarrhea. It's probably not chicken. I don't care.
For me, it'll probably be either a spaghetti bolognese or a lasagna.
Now I want Maryland.
No. And my favourite drink, I'd probably say non-alcoholic coffee. Any coffee, I'm not picky. And then alcoholic, I'd probably say ciders, gin.
And Ghosties is chicken. Ghosties is lots and lots of chicken.
Cocktails,
Yes.
although I'm not a big fan of pina colada, it has to be a particular kind of pina colada.
I love Penis Colossus.
I've had many different versions of pina colada. I've had ones that are shit, and I've had ones that are great. And I've had more ones that are shit than they are great.
Hi,
Ghost. What about you? What's your favourite non-alcoholic and then alcoholic drink?
So alcoholic Sheridans,
Yes.
because I like liqueur.
I don't even know what it tastes like because you drink down the fucking bottle before I even get a taste in it.
Because it's mine. Because it's very hard to come by and it's mine.
It's not Terry's.
It's mine. And then non-alcoholic. I'm going to be controversial here and say Pepsi.
Pepsi's your favourite?
I think it's better than Coke.
Over like tea and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Oh no, tell a lie. No, that's carbonated. If we were talking like actual drink, it would be Vimto cordial. I cannot live without it.
You do like a lot of Vimto.
I do. And not the fizzy, the cordial that you add water to.
The squash.
Yeah.
What's your favourite drink, Ghost?
He's a good boy. Lots and lots of chimkin.
He's a good boy.
Yes.
And we've got one final question. The final question of the Q&A for our year anniversary.
And it was asked by myself.
Which just simply asks, who farted?
You, Ash.
You did, Ash.
You, Ash.
It's you, Ashley.
Who else is it going to be?
It's always you.
It's always you.
It's always you.
I agree.
It is always me. And sometimes it's ghosty, depending on what dinners he's had.
It can be ghosty.
And they're pretty bad when they're ghosties.
You've been a good boy, Ghosty. You've been a good boy.
You have been very good. We've been recording for a long time and you've sat here very patiently, so we're very happy. But we're going to wrap it up now so that we can play and we can get you some Treatos. Yeah? You want some Treatos?
Want to say anything for the people at home?
You speak? You speak? No, you just want Dino?
Yeah.
Just a Dino dinosaur? Alright.
Boy. Good boy.
So, that was our anniversary video.
Thank you so much for staying with us for this last 12 months. I really do appreciate it. I love doing the YouTube videos. And I hope you can stick with us for the next couple of years to the future. If you've got any ideas for like the videos you'd like to see from us in the future, please do put them in the comments down below. If you want more people to potentially join us, please like and subscribe. Share it around. People that you think might enjoy this kind of content.
Yeah.
If you like gratuitous shots of our dog, please join. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.
Yes, definitely. It's dinner time now. I'm so hungry.
I am too.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Whoa, hold on. Before you go, there was so much content we recorded for this Q&A that we have quite a few outtakes left over. So if you'll indulge me, here they come. Oh.
Stop eating, we got to record.
I'm hungry. Ghosty. Messed up our green screen.
He's ruining the illusion.
No, not behind the curtain.
Hi.
Hello, Ghost.
Hi, baby.
Hello, Ghosty.
Hey.
It's mine.
My
mine.
toy.
Give you mine. Give me my toy back.
Ghosty. Ghosty. Ooh, invisible dinosaur.
You can just see his eyes.
I will eat your soul.
You need to go down a little bit.
Okay.
If I'll let you.